Hi and welcome to Budget Model Railways. So obviously for obvious reasons we've not been doing many railways in the last few days. Happy Christmas to everybody. But just before the holidays I did experiment with this, so we're back still with Engage, tinkering, and this is trying out concepts that I haven't been able to try out for a long while. So I had all sorts of ideas 10 years ago when we started with railways that didn't really work in double O because of space. But obviously N gives me that ability, especially once you realise you can reduce the radius of N, as I discovered with double O. So this is only 10 inches across, 9-inch radius track, which is half the normal set track of 18 inch. Now obviously the locos will always go around it. The Kato chassis will go around very small radius. It's whether you can get wagons round. So this was the usual thing of build it, and then see if we can get wagons round it. And you can see that we can get wagons round it. I should say it's only 2 feet long. So it's only 2 feet by 10 inches. Now what this one also, so I'm struggling a little bit with this controller. Mahano doesn't have an off switch. Oh, and I'm a bit clumsy with mine here. It's because I'm working at a strange angle and with a controller that I'm not used to. There we go. So what this layout gives me the ability to do, because up till now I've been doing inglenook sidings, is it gives me the ability to run round a train. So that gives me quite a bit more interest in some ways with the shunting, because I can run around my loco, run around my train like that, take it back round. I've got a long siding here, but obviously with the 3 sidings, it's still effectively an inglenook. What it does mean though, is I've got a shunting layout with a fiddle yard tucked around in the back of it. So instead of having to be another 2 foot long to take the fiddle yard in, it's only 2 foot by 10 inches because I've looped my fiddle yard round to the back. Now if you had a little bit more room again, a little bit more length possibly, you could run a divider through the middle and have 2 different layouts, one each side, which is something I'm still looking at. But on this one, to give me enough room to do anything, this is going to be a fiddle yard, scenic down the front. Now, I haven't decided yet what scenery to do, but one of the options is to perhaps saw the edge off low, put a little harbour quayside in. That's one option. Doug's just 3D printed me some container wagons in N, so it would make quite a good container area. Obviously station in here, but as yet I haven't worked on the scenery. This was just a concept. Put the track down, see if it would work. Doug laser cut me that. Interesting that laser cutting, we're finding more and more model railway uses. So as you'd have seen on the last video, that fits in there and does my template for my curved track. The smoother you can make the track, the easier it is to get the locos round. This is just a floating shelf, hollow shelf, tacked a little bit of timber on the back to give me a couple more centimetres width. Cost me £3 in my local tip shop. Track is all very second hand. Flexi track actually came from the tip shop as well. My wife bought me a big box on the spec that it might be useful. It's about 15 pieces in there for about £4. So that's done all the layouts. The rest is just set track. So there's quite a lot of potential here, albeit, as I say, I haven't worked out any scenery. This was really a concept. Could I get a passing loop and fiddle yard into a small area? And the answer is yes, if you use Flexi Track. So just another idea there for Engage. Might be some interesting thoughts on what I do. I've got my industrial shunting layout. I've got my town scene. So I don't really want to do a lot of buildings. I'd quite like to do a countryside. Looking at Continental Modeler, I like a lot of the very open countryside kind of continental layouts. So that's probably where I'm going to go with it. But I quite like the harbour idea. Got any other ideas? I'm trying to push the boundaries here. I'm freelancing, so I don't need to do traditional layouts. Wagons there I'm quite pleased with. So these are the Pico wagon kits. Currently about £8.30. I picked up some up for about £5 second hand. Difficult to show here because it's going out of focus a bit. Yeah, it's not going to come into focus. But painted up and weathered, just black wash, dry brush, some brown road muck on the bottoms. they really come up really well. About £8 a wagon, so you can't really floor that, especially when you're doing freelance. So there we go. Hope you all had a good Christmas. Hope you all got some railways for Christmas. And I'll talk to you again in the new year.